Good morning to everybody. Everyone here after the nice presentations of these 5 speakers, we realized that the speed was very high. It was planned around 20 minutes, but with the 3D, they were very fast. They were printing very fast, the presentations. And now I will ask to all 5. First of all, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for your presentations. Thank you for your preparation. Thank you to SEAT, to Gestam, to HP, to IDIADA and Campo Racing. It was really interesting to follow your presentations. And now I would like to ask, please, forget the rational. You made a rational presentation. I would like to go through the emotional. And because ladies first, I would like to ask Virginia, if you will be free, how big and how many 3D printers you will be able to sell in 5 years?
That's the crystal ball question. So we expect to sell a lot of printers, but it all depends on the adoption that the customer have, the materials that we are able to provide. That's why we want to collaborate and work with different materials companies to be able to offer a lot of applications and hopefully a lot of final parts. So it doesn't depend on us only. It depends on all of us working together to advance the industry.
Then we will ask to the potential customers. I think it's better this one. Then I will ask to the potential customers if they will be free today. Please, no barriers. No barriers. If you will have 2,000 printers in SEAT, no limitation in size, what will you change in SEAT process, in engineering or in production?
I think what is important is the time to market. You can personalize the cars when you have the free design of the additive manufacturing part. And that, okay, perhaps 2,000 parts in additive manufacturing with the cost, I don't know if it's the best thing, but there is a big issue in personalization of the cars. And reduce the time to market from the parts from the car. All the development part from the car and helping the production process. It's a big challenge.
One of the key issues of the 3D printing, everybody's talking about time. But it's relatively slow, the 3D printer. Then how you can combine the relative low speed?
It was very slow.
Very good. It was. Now we'll come to HP again. How you combine, I mean, the extreme fast time production for a stamp part or injected part, how you compensate with the 3D printer? That's one of the key issues. Huh?
I think where the additive manufacturing bring new things is in development from the part. The possibility to change the part during the development from this part and to prove this part more times to acquire a better design from this part. I think this is the big challenge.
If I go to the other extreme, to the racing solutions, you always speak about time. Normally you are not looking too much in the cost size and you are looking for time. If you will be free, what you will ask HP to do with the printer?
For me, it's very clear. You have seen the presentation of the car that we have done. We have invested a lot of money in molds to later do the laminating of the composite. For me, it would be wonderful to have a big printer that allow me to manufacture complete the part, the big part, like a hood or like a complete door in 3D printing. I can save the investment of the mold and it will be more flexible. Anyhow, for the moment, I'm not sure if the technology is enough strong to support so big kind of parts. But from my side, presents, it would be wonderful to have this kind of machine because we are focusing in the prototyping And also for the racing. I mean, you have to think that sometimes we have to go to the wind tunnel, and in the wind tunnel you have to create a model. And if we have the chance to have 3D printing instead of the clay, we can make like a puzzle and change several parts and test different things in few time. So it's a challenge for the future for sure.
I mean, David, if we talk about time, it's clear. The advantage of 3D printing in the future will bring us a lot of time saving for the normal processes, like development, engineering, and maybe production. Now I will go to one tier one, Gestamp, typical company that earns money stamping sheet metal parts. How the 3D printer may change your philosophy of production? Not for helping the production, the core business. Your core business is stamping parts. Mm-hmm. Every some seconds, one stamp pad. Thousands of parts stamped by a die. How you can imagine in 5-10 years view that 3D printing may change the industry of stamping metal parts?
Well, we believe that probably once the additive manufacturing and machines doing that are more present and integrated in the assembling and production lines inside stamping plants, probably we will be able to move the complexity of the parts to the additive side of the production instead of the stamping. So we'll be able to produce more or simpler parts, faster, in presses, the same design around the world. So we will be working again with the high volumes, so reducing costs because it's the same part for all over the world, and in short scales of production with less costs. Then we will be finishing parts locally on site according to requirements of every market, thanks to additive machines. That could be a strategy that will to integrate the additive solution to the stamping production market.
Thank you very much. And Idiada, how is your position? I mean, you explained some nice development. Are you worried about the cost of the operation with the 3D printer?
Well, we think that the cost of the things or the price of the different prototypes is acceptable or not, depending on what is bringing back the value. Exactly. Thank you, Virginia. If the value we can bring from additive manufacturing is enough to compensate the cost, there are a lot of possibilities for additive manufacturing. It is very important to bring a vehicle faster in the market with more personalization, as Seat is saying, with changes every year, every 6 months. This is something that the customer, we are sure, is willing to pay for. If we can offer this, then additive manufacturing, well, has some barriers in terms of cost. We cannot afford anything. We have to be limited at some point, but additive manufacturing can bring something a little bit expensive, but finally is compensated by the value it brings back.
Good. Now, Virginia, again. Maybe you have a dream that is a big factory of cars and plenty of 3D printers and no more suppliers on the factory. We will kill the suppliers, then only 3D printers on the factory.
So let me go to some of the comments that were done before. So the size of the printer is one of the feedback that we have got. One of the big advantages that we have in our technology is that it's completely scalable. And now we have 16 inches in the print bar, but we have already productized 42 inches in 2D printing. So this is something that we could do in the future. We have done 42, we have done 62, 108 inches. So we have aerospace companies that want to print the wing completely. So this is still far in the future, but from a technological perspective, it can be done. We just need to have a business case behind. And it's not a factory with only 3D printers. 3D printers probably will need to be combined with other technologies. And it's not only factories in automotive. We believe Multi-Jet Fusion has the capability to be producing parts for aerospace, for automotive, for medical, for consumer goods. So our dream is the next industrial revolution. Our North Star is to transform the manufacturing industry, having the manufacturing near the demand, where you need it, when you need it, and much more tailored to the customer needs. So yes, that's our dream, not only for automotive, but for the rest of the industries as well. So we are starting the journey, and we want all you to join us.
That's a real revolution. That's a real revolution. We are in the starting point of the revolution. Maybe we'll have a bubble in the beginning.
I think we have gone over the bubble already.
Yes. And do you think that there is really a risk, or is an opportunity for you to change dramatically the process using the 3D printer?
Of course, an opportunity. If we are not adapting and including new technologies or developing new technologies in our processes, in our plants, we will definitely losing the market, because changes are coming. No way. New regulations. The market will ask for adapting our solution to those new products, and absolutely it's an opportunity to be there in the future.
Maybe for SEAT, you need a big change in the thinking of the engineers, how to proceed, because you have a new tool. It will be very powerful tool, and maybe the people who is used to work in a certain way should change the mind in order to use as much as possible the potential performance of the 3D printing for the next years.
Yes, and we have seen that, for example, in the metal printing parts, because a big challenge that metal printing brings is the lightweight production and the structure from parts and the redesign from parts. So you must go out from the normal process mindset, from milling a part, from usually mold part, and go to a free design part. And this is a big challenge, it's a big mindset change that we had to arrive.
Thank you. I go back to racing. That's also one of my favorites, racing. Extreme user. You are at the end of the Gauss curve. Huh? Do you imagine to have the central engineering staff where you are in Montmeló and printing a lot of parts in USA or in China?
Hopefully, hopefully it would be nice. For us, it's a good tool, not only as for engineering to develop prototypes, but also imagine that we can be. Let me imagine to be in the circuit with a lot of sensors on the car, and go to Montmeló after we have been in the wind tunnel, and then we can change small things in the car in the same moment before to do the race after the conclusion we take in Montmeló. It will be nice to have a 3D printing in the box, to make some modifications, to print the part, and to fit it in the car. We are talking about a small time, and this could be a big challenge for us.
We will ask HP to look for that.
Yeah,
that's an opportunity.
I'm looking for an sponsor. Only buy free 3D printing, and we put a sticker. It will be yeah.
Maybe in IDIADA you will have the same needs, because you can offer additional services to your customers that are really performing a lot of testing there of components, of complete cars. That means you may plan for the future to have several printing machines in order to offer plastics, metals, etc., etc., etc. Maybe in IDIADA.
Hopefully, yes. If everything goes well, we hope that in some time we will have more printers with more possibilities, printers that can make metal, that can make plastic, that can make, as I was explaining before in my presentation, the different functionalities need different prototypes and different additive manufacturing technologies. We have a few of them already today. I'm sure more will develop in the next years. It will be important as well that engineers change their mind and they develop to print. This is an experience we've had with Campos. We spent some time with them discussing what was the best way to design the part so it could be printed easier. So the part would be easier to print and faster to print and so on. So yeah, this is
that's the expertise that we need from the engineers to change the mind.
Sure.
What I commented with Cristobal.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
That's a change on the mind.
Yes.
How to use as best as we can the potential of 3D printing.
Today, engineers are, if we go to ask them how to draw a part, they will say, okay, you want this part, but this part will be stamped or will be injected or will be, so I need this radius and then need this and I need that. This has to be improved now for additive manufacturing. For additive manufacturing, they will need to take some different considerations. This is going to happen. But yeah, for example, in our case at IDIADA, for us would be, we think, something very interesting for our customers to have the possibility to make the development loops much faster. If we can bring the part to the test just after the result, would be great. That's our vision.
So one comment, because I think we are talking about a very critical topic for the adoption of 3D printing, that is the design for additive capabilities in the engineers. When engineers start designing a product, they are considering which is the manufacturing process that they are going to use, and the constraints of this manufacturing process is in their minds. So I think we need to make a call to action to the educational universities type of organization to start considering how we are going to, on one side, recycle the engineers that already have the mindset constraint, and how we are going to educate the new generation of engineers so that we can completely unleash the creativity and the potential that 3D printing can give. Because otherwise, we will be doing the same designs but faster, cheaper, but we are not really going to take full advantage of 3D printing. So that's a very, very important point. We all need to work together.
Virginia, just for closing, I will ask, one of the key issues is the material. In the automotive business, we are managing around 100 different materials. Different plastics, different steels, different aluminiums, different. How you see the development of the materials in the 3D printing technology? We will face also in the next 10 years 50 materials to provide different solutions to 3D printing?
So we think, in fact, this is one of the critical points for really making 3D printing ready for production. And I think we need to see how we can add the additives to the materials, because it's not usually the base resin that is different, but it's the additives and how you are enforcing the material with different things. We are starting to add some fire retardants and glass beads to our powder so that we can start having broader range of materials. And if you later go to the booth and understand a bit better the technology, we can have additives both in the powder as well as in the fluids. So in the future, we also need to understand which are the additives that we need to put in the fluids. So it's not maybe in 2 years from now, but definitely in 5 years from now, we will be able to have probably hundreds of materials, not base materials necessarily, but just combinations of materials and different additives. And it will be key to advance the number of applications. If you have different materials, you will not have different performance, you will not be able to go to final part. So yes, maybe we can, instead of 100, let it be 40, but still you will need 40 materials for different applications.
Thank you very much. Now the time is over, and just the 4 customers. You have 4 potential customers here. I will ask each customer which is the key issue for them to ask to you that you will be the potential provider of this technology to the customers. Please, first of all, Cristóbal from SEAT, which is what you will ask to HP for the next coming years?
Yes, I've seen the new machine from HP. It brings some things that we want from the additive manufacturing world. But one big challenge is materials. We need materials more in the serial materials properties with mechanical properties. That is what we need.
Ricardo.
Well, in our case, yeah, it's great. Yeah, is the industrialization of those machines. So do it in an industrial way to move the additive manufacturing inside big lines for high volume productions.
Thank you. Ricard from IDIADA.
Very similar the materials, so the functional components.
Sounds familiar.
Yes.
It's not the first time we hear about it.
Yes.
And Ruben, the last.
For me, easy way to use it, because I'm a user. For the moment, all that we have print, we have to contract different suppliers. One of them, our friends from IDIADA. So we need to internalize inside our company. So we need an easy way how to manage and how to use this software. And finally, as a user, when you buy a normal printer, the biggest issue later is not the price of the printer, it's the price of the thing. So also you have to think about it. Has to be not so high, the price.
So yes, we are considering this, and you need to think we have already production printers in 2D, the printers that are producing all the posters and the books and the magazines. You may imagine that the newspaper cannot have the ink at the same price than the photo printer at home. So this is already considered in the total cost of ownership model that we have, and it will not be very relevant. So just bear with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very kind. Thank you, Campo Racing. Thank you, IDIADA. Thank you, HP. Thank you, Gestam. Thank you, SEAT. Thank you to everybody. That's at the end. Thank you.